Hello and welcome to the forecast for April 28th until May 4th. My name is Desiree DeLune, your acupuncturist, herbalist, and astrologer. And we are going to dive into the energetic weather patterns for this coming week. We do have one major shift where the planet of Venus is changing into a whole new sign, and we're going to start seeing a stellium in that sign, which is Aries. So lots more fire energy that we are going to be interacting with. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And if you could be so kind to hit that like button, subscribe, share away to those who could benefit from this information. Okay, I'm going to actually go back because you know what? I already recorded this once and it didn't record. So we're doing this a second time, at least for me. I did want to start off here on Sunday. And this is, if you're watching on a Sunday, this is relevant to you right now. But because we're still in a new moon phase, so on Monday, we have, sun and moon still in a new moon phase in Taurus. So I just wanted to come back to Sunday, April 27th. To show you that configuration one more time of the new moon. And we have it in Taurus. And in Taurus, this is about stability. This is about anchoring. It's very centering, right? And just to remind you, like sun has to do with our identity, our sense of purpose, and our ego. And so when we have a new moon happening in Taurus with this background of, look, Mars and Pluto in a strong opposition. And both of these planets are talking to the moon. They're both aspecting, squaring the sun and the moon. This is called a T-square. And the thing with Mars and Pluto is that they ignite tremendous change and transformation. And what is happening in this new moon, just one aspect of this, obviously there's so many things, but one aspect of this is that we are dealing with a shedding. We are dealing with a release and the letting go and the purging of the pseudo self, of the manufactured self. So your identity, your purpose, it's getting purified. I mean, you know how like fire really purifies, burns away the impurities and leaves you with that precious gold, if we're talking about like alchemy, for example. So your authentic, real, true identity and purpose are emerging here with this background that's happening between Mars and Pluto talking to this new moon. So really anchoring into your raw essence and your identity and your purpose is one of these beautiful themes that we're getting here with this new moon season. Now, Monday, again, still new moon phase in Taurus. We do have a little change here because moon is getting pretty close to the planet of Uranus. And Uranus has also, kind of like what this Mars-Pluto situation was doing, is this very breakthrough liberation type of energy. It's super liberating. It's very freeing of your emotions, freeing of what you want. And so if you expect some changes here, expect something different, expect something new to emerge. This is going to be normal with Uranus as part of this conversation. What I love about Uranus, though, here is that it's going to support that emergence. Okay, like it's like breaking off the chains. It's that pure, like, let me fully shed the old and receive in the new. And we have Uranus in this lovely sextile with Saturn. And so Saturn, look, is stabilizing, it's grounding, it's very earthy in nature. And with Uranus in a positive conversation with Saturn, this new change, this new evolution of our identity and our purpose, we are really grounding into it. We're really able to fully integrate it. Like it's like fitting like a glove, on the skin. And so that's such a nice aspect that we get to have for months into the future. I believe it's around until mid-September. So yes, a lot's changing, but at the same time, and we are personally changing a lot, but at the same time, we're really able to embody this new change. We're able to, structures are changing, because that's the thing with Saturn. It's about structures, right? A lot of these S words. And so these new structures, these new routines, these new ways of being, we're able to really take them in and receive them well. And it's not this chaos that's emerging from it. It's evolution that's emerging from it. So, what a beautiful aspect that we have. Do you want to know what your next birthday year holds? Well, your birthday, it's not just another celebration. It's actually a powerful astrological moment. And what's in the sky on your birthday essentially is the birth chart for the entire year. It's when the sun returns to the same degree as when you were born. And so, when we look at that chart on your birthday day, that basically reveals major themes, potential changes, and opportunities that are awaiting you. Whether we're looking at career shifts or moves or changes in relationships, you can get clarity on what's coming up ahead. So know the right moves to take. Know what energies you have available to work with. Don't navigate this next year blindly. Go ahead and book a solar return reading consultation down below in the link below, and you will know how to step forward in this next birthday year with clarity and confidence. All right, so we talked about this the Taurus with the new moon phase. Now on Tuesday, we do have a change. We have moon that has transitioned into Gemini. And you'll also see some beautiful blue lines and aspects to the moon, which I love. This is going to make us more curious, more adaptable too, which is really helpful. This is going to need mental stimulation, also being in conversation with people, talking things out, talking things through. And this is also playful and lighthearted. We're going to have a lot of playful energies during this coming week. So there's a desire for new adventures, new experiences, and also a lot of reading and writing. I'm going to say writing's going to be quite an important practice this week, and I'll talk about that in the future days. Okay, now moon is in trine with Pluto, which also further adds to this transformation. And Pluto deals with the hidden. So it brings the hidden to the surface. And you know how the moon is reflective, right? Reflecting of light. And so with Pluto in this conversation, you may learn something new about yourself or about life, about the world, or about a problem or something that was hidden to you before. And now it's being revealed. Now it's coming into your consciousness too. And then moon is in sextile with Mars. That's going to bring that level of passion and thrill and excitement and energy too. It's going to add a little bit of energy and a lot of interest into what it is that you are into, what you're learning. So you're going to get some passion and enthusiasm that comes from Mars on this day. Okay, so then on Wednesday, moon is still in Gemini, but it is applying to Jupiter. You see it coming closer and closer to Jupiter. And Jupiter brings so much positivity and so much optimism and hopefulness and, thinks about the possibilities, not so much the limitations and what can go wrong. It's more the what can go right attitude and perspective. So I love it. That's joyful. It looks like it's also in sextile with Mercury. So this is going to make communication very easeful and smooth. I mean, you're just going to be talking out so much positivity and joy on this day. So love Wednesday. Thursday, major change, okay? We have Venus that has crossed over up top here into Aries. Now, we then have a stellium in Aries. And let's talk about what Aries is and the meaning of all of these planets here. So Venus has to do with our pleasure and our play. It is beauty, it's the arts, it's our relationships, it's money. So when I talk about relationships too, it's your love relationships as well as just your close, intimate friendships, or just people you're very close with in general. It could be family members too. And so, with it being in Aries, there's going to be a lot more passion, a lot more heat, a lot more fire. You're going to want to be very like playful and engaging with the people in your life. When Venus was in Pisces, it's a little bit more like to themselves, is a little bit more introspective, maybe like really small circles of friends that you'd want to be with. But then here on Thursday, as it goes into Aries, and it's going to stay here for about 2 to 3 weeks. Okay. Now, here we're going to want to go out there and probably meet like a lot more people. Maybe the moon will keep you from doing that for a couple of days. But in general, with Venus in Aries, you're going to be more lively in your relationships and in your conversations. I mean, look, we have Mercury here too in Aries, and Mercury is our communication style. It's how we think. Now, you still have your natal Mercury that is, at play. We don't ignore your natal Mercury, but it's kind of like adding this extra flavor to your planet of Mercury. Your Mercury has a bit more fire. It has a bit more passion, a little bit more enthusiasm. It's going to be more active. It's going to be faster in the mind. So if you have a hard time making decisions, Mercury in Aries is going to help you to make decisions a lot faster. It's going to be quicker. It's going to be sharper. And it may be a little impulsive. There's going to be some impulsivity here. With Venus applying to Neptune, it's getting closer to Neptune, and it's going to be near Neptune for a little bit. This is a very artistic combination here, very like dreamy, romantic, a lot of visuals. So if you have a strong Venus or Neptune placement in your chart, this is going to amp up your creativity. I mean, a lot will probably come through, a lot more ideas, a lot more visions, a lot more visuals, your imagination just being a little bit more stimulated. This could even make your sensitivity a bit stronger and a bit more heightened as well. And with Mercury, all that together, I mean, my goodness, it's like your spiritual life, your mental life, your emotional connections are just going to be a lot more online. It's going to be more visible and at the surface, essentially, versus being super hidden and tucked away. Because this fiery Aries is just, it's action time. It's let's get to it. So, another thing I want to point out is Mercury is pretty close to Chiron. And as the days pass, you'll see like Friday gets closer, Saturday is closer. And Chiron is an asteroid. It looks like a key. I don't talk about Chiron too much, but I feel like it's important to mention something. And Chiron deals with our emotional woundings as well as our spiritual woundings. And as Mercury is coming close, the planet of communication, the planet of speaking and of writing, it would be a really good time right now that if you have certain wounds that have been bothering you or just, on the surface, if you have pain that is a little bit more raw for you right now, or you get triggered in some moment, write or talk it out with somebody. That's going to help you to process. It's going to help you to access, and it's going to help you to heal some of these deeper emotional and spiritual woundings. That's going to be a phenomenal method because Mercury is getting close to Chiron. Okay, so just a little bit of a side note there. Now, on this day, though, we do have Moon that is in Cancer, and it's in its home sign. It's happy here, but this tends to be a little bit more internal and wanting to stay at home. It's very sensitive. So I imagine, we still have all this Aries stuff at play, but you're going to want to do all this fun things and thrilling, exciting things and all this heated passion and romance. I could see that kicking up a gear as well. With people that are within close circles. Okay. probably within close circles. Now, when Moon moves over to Leo, which is, happening real soon, when Moon goes into Leo, this is going to be a different story. You're going to want to be way more out there probably and way more out publicly. Now, look, if in your natal chart, you don't like to, you're more introverted and you don't really like to be out there in public, you might see it kicking up just a little bit more. like let's say going from just being at home alone all the time to like, oh, maybe I'll meet a friend this week. Okay, so we'll see a little ramping up. But Moon here, it's also in square with Venus and Neptune, which can really increase even more so your level of sensitivity to the point where you're overwhelmed with people or places or spaces. So yeah, I can see, it being a little bit, keep it quieter, okay? Like maybe not go to a massive party on this day, but definitely have some fun and some play and some adventures with, close friends and family, for example. Okay. And on Friday, we have Moon still in Cancer, and it is also square Mercury. So that can bring some friction, some misunderstanding, some miscommunication. I mean, it's an exact square, 17 degrees Moon, 17 degrees Mercury. So think before you speak, because see, remember with Mercury in Aries, it can be a bit more impulsive and just say whatever without really thinking before speaking, and we can have some hurt feelings going on. So take your time on Friday. Yeah, we still have this Mars-Pluto opposition, which can bring some irritation as well. Now, Saturday. Love it. Saturday to me is like a very flowy, joyful day. Yes, I know the moon is near Mars and with that Mars opposite Pluto, but look, it's getting fainter. Okay, you'll see this line. It's separating this intense aspect. So it's getting less. But look at all the blue lines. Oh my goodness. We have so many trines, so many trines. And Moon is less moody in Leo. Okay, it's not in moody in the moody Cancer. But in Leo, it's very playful. It's very fun. It's very expressive. I mean, it's super creative too. And then it's next to Mars, which is quite fiery. And so talk about like passion and enthusiasm and excitement. Yeah, you could get a little irritated. I get it. But overall, though, it's the moon is being soothed out by all these trines, by the trine to Saturn up here, the trine to Neptune, the trine to Venus. All of these trines is really supporting and helping moon. So Saturn brings that stability. So you kind of have this great foundation underneath you, which then it helps you to feel safe. And so then when you feel safe, you can really just let your hair down and be free and play and have fun. Talk about indulging in pleasure and play. That's what Saturday is about. Indulge in pleasure and play on this day. Go all in, go to that fancy restaurant and have this passionate, like romantic date. Go on a great date like that, okay? Go to someplace fancy. Not like Applebee's or something, please. I don't think anybody who's watching me goes to Applebee's. Oh, gross. So we've got Moon also in trine with Neptune and Venus exact. I could see your imagination just going wild. I can see like a creative spurt, your creative abilities. Oh, just really, really strong here. I mean, even if you want to do some of that emotional, spiritual healing and doing that writing or get therapy or talking to someone, this would be so productive on that day as well. So enjoy, have fun, get romantic. There's a lot of heated romance here. There's a setup for that. So, have fun with your partner if you've got one, all right? Or with your friends, and take advantage of the play, the extreme level of play and joy and excitement and happiness that's available to us here on Saturday. Go do it. All right. And then on Sunday, we still have the moon in Leo, and it is still it's in conjunction with Mars. It is separating though. It's still there. It's just not going to be as intense as it was in Saturday. We do have one other feature though. It has a square to Sun, and this will create just a little bit of tension, like, oh, I feel like doing this, but then you start thinking about your responsibilities and like, oh, I should be doing this and this and that, so there's a little bit of I want but I should, that fight, that internal fight that may surface. However, I would just let go of that internal fight and still surrender into some play here on this day. Okay. So that is our forecast for the week. Just know that the big move happens in Venus, and that happens on, I believe it was Thursday. Yeah, it was on Thursday. The big move happens here. You got to consider where your natal Venus is too, because Venus represents your pleasure, your play, your leisure. All right. And that plus we're adding the flavor of Venus in Aries, and your Venus is going to be more activated with this fire energy. So you'll probably be more wanting to go for it into your leisure and your hobbies and your fun, and also socializing and connecting with people. Like that's something you're just going to want to do more of, that you're going to make more time, room, and space in your life with Venus going into Aries, and especially with it going next to Neptune. I would just say be careful of reckless spending, just frivolous spending sometimes. This is super indulgent. Like with Moon and Neptune together, very indulgent. We have to be careful of escapism. Be careful of going too far with our play to the point. Like, like if you're going to drink alcohol, have a glass, but don't have 5 glasses and then you're blackout drunk. Like that's just one silly example. If you want to gamble, oh my goodness, if you're a gambler, you're probably going to love gambling in this season. You're going to have like a need for gambling. I don't do that. I don't have a desire for that. But let's not, bet $100, don't bet $100,000. You know what I'm saying? So just be cautious of obviously going to extremes where now we're dealing with pathology. So, all right. Thank you again for hanging out with me. And please do hit that like button and share away if you love this content, if you love me to keep doing this kind of content. It really is very encouraging to see all the likes. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next forecast. Your birthday is not just another birthday. It's actually a powerful astrological moment, and it sets the tone for the entire year. Basically, when the sun returns to the exact same degree as when you were born, and you take a look at what planets are in the sky at that moment, that is the birth chart for the entire year. So this reveals major themes and potential changes and opportunities that are waiting for you. What's amazing about this is that you get a strategic roadmap on how to navigate your year, and knowing what areas of your life are in major focus, what are these expected transitions, and what energies do you have to work with. I'm an experienced astrologer, healer, and I work with elemental medicine, and I transfer astrological insights into very practical guidance. So decode your year ahead and go ahead and book a solar return reading, and that is in the link down below so that your path forward is illuminated.